Jaguar has said that the E Pace is the most playful car yet to come out of the brand in its 80-year history. So much so that the new premium compact SUV has been nicknamed the Cub internally. Now, as a mom to two cubs myself, I know that the key to unlocking great things in children is through play. So let's see if the mother brand has managed to unlock this rather un-Jaguar-like quality in its new baby. From the outset, you'll find some cutesy surprises as you move to unlock your new E Pace. A puddle lamp shows Mom and her cub, a design you'll also spot tucked into the bottom of the windscreen. From the cockpit, you'll see paw prints in the center console mat, on the seat tags and in the center cubby. But for all its playful elements, the E Pace interior is actually quite grown up. No, strike that. That's an understatement. It's advanced to the point of being the most connected Jaguar yet. Just scroll through the myriad of menus and you'll see. The car can act as a Wi-Fi hotspot, supporting up to 8 devices. There are USB ports for all 5 occupants, in case your cubs need to charge their little iPads. And the E Pace is the first Jaguar to sport an activity key, which means your cub can technically go surfing or hiking with you. This 12.3-inch digital display is standard, as is your interface with Jaguar's InTouch Pro infotainment system. I find it a little bit too fussy. There's a lot of menus, there's a lot of buttons. It's quite distracting, but I guess as an owner, once you initially set up and configure your car the way you want it, you'll have everything at your fingertips. There's a heads-up display and navigation is standard across the range. And what a range it is. In South Africa, we'll have 3 diesels and 2 petrol engines, all featuring Jaguar's 2-litre turbocharged Ingenium engines. Each of those comes in a variety of different spec levels, with the range starting at just under 600,000 Rand and heading right up to almost 900,000 Rand. Of course, the car we're driving is near the top end of the range. This car is just over 800,000 Rand. It's the D240, which in line with Jaguar's new naming conventions means it's the diesel, putting out 240 horsepower. That equates to 177 kilowatts, and I can tell you it's no slouch. Fine in everyday driving, but when driven hard, I found it a little bit disappointing dynamically. The steering for me was a little bit unresponsive. I'd like a bit more feedback, and the brakes were soft, but maybe that's just a case of the car needing to be run in. It delivers its 500 Newton meters through a 9-speed auto gearbox, which is the only option across the range, and when driven normally is great. Give it a bit of stick though, and you will find it a little bit laggy. The E Pace is packed with driver assistance systems, from blind spot assist to lane assist, adaptive cruise control to standard front and rear park assist. Safety's well taken care of too, with 7 airbags, including one for pedestrians, and standard LED lighting across the range. Every car offered in South Africa will be all-wheel drive. Considering all the standard tech and spec that you get on the E Pace, I'm quite happy with the pricing. Yes, when you get to the top of the range, it does start looking like you'd be better off maybe going for an entry-level F Pace. But for me, this car is just so much better looking. The proportions work better. That might be explained by Jaguar's notes that the E Pace is far more inspired by the F-Type aesthetically than the big brother SUV, the F Pace. And you can see it in the lights, in the haunches. It just works better. For me, this is just such a pretty car. Interestingly though, although it's the baby of the family, the E Pace actually weighs more in some models than the F Pace, and that's down to the use of steel rather than aluminium. E Pace shares its platform with the Range Rover Evoque and the Disco Sport, and for me it sits nicely in between the two. It has all the style of the Evoque, but it also adds practicality. It's more affordable, like the Disco Sport, but in a much more refined and well-specced package. While it is definitely more practical than an Evoque, I wouldn't call the back seats spacious as such. Yes, they're very comfortable and there's more than enough room for little old me, but I think any bigger than that and you might struggle. Headroom though is definitely better than an Evoque. The boot's not bad, with Jaguar claiming it fits up to 5 suitcases. That must be hand luggage. In the center console, you could probably fit a baby Jaguar, thanks to the flexible options for storage. In the world's fastest growing segment of premium SUVs, this new baby does fill a fairly large hole in the compact subsegment. I would like to drive an entry-level model to see exactly what you get for 600,000 Rand, but after driving this model the whole day, I can safely say the Germans have a good fight on their hands. It may only be a cub, and I'd probably agree that the designers and engineers seem to have had fun making it, but it's clear with the E Pace, the Jaguar is not playing around.